All right, y'all, in today's video, we're gonna see how much a 405 pound bencher can overhead press today. We're gonna see my top set. Whoa, why'd that feel weird? That's better. All right, 195. We'll try this one. Damn. Hey y'all, Zach here. In today's video, we're going to see how much can a 405 pound bencher overhead press, right? Top set edition, and how I plan to increase my overhead press, right? Okay, before we start today's video, I would like to quickly shout out my workout program, right? Program I designed myself to help me get to a 405 bench, a 635 deadlift, and a soon to be 500 pound squat with just, a month and a half training, right? But quick disclaimer, right? If you just have slightly above average genetics, I would 100%, stay away from this workout program if you don't want to be called a fake natural, right? Even if you're not using performance enhancing drugs, this workout program will probably make you labeled a fake natty, right? I'll have the evidence right here and right here and right here. But I'll just use those because this could be a whole clip by itself. But again, it's only $5, less than a Big Mac, but more fulfilling. All right, back into the video. So getting straight into it, yes, you heard that right. I can bench press 405. If you're new here, you probably didn't know that, right? And here's a video of me doing that right here. Fucking easy, bro. Again, 405 pound bench. It took me about 2 years to get to that kind of level, right? Which is apparently above average, well above average. There's some people who train 10 years and haven't ever touched even near 385 or 375, right? So that said, I was like, you know what? Let me try overhead press. Actually, I was recommended to try overhead press by one of you guys, pretty cool subscriber. His name's Super. Shout out to my boy Super. I will always remember you. And yeah, you're pretty much the reason why I started my overhead press journey, right? Getting straight into it. Again, if you're new here, you probably haven't seen my other videos, right? I have a picture of that right here. Just me testing out my 135. If you've seen those, you're probably like, dude, that's pretty pathetic, right? And I'm right there with you. It was a lot more humbling than I thought it was, right? I thought I was gonna get like maybe 15, 20 reps. Your boy ended up doing like about 7, right? Obviously, I started implementing it a little bit more, like fast forward 2 to 3 weeks later, I can do it for 9. And that's on a bad day now. So I'm probably at the 12. But you don't care about that. Today we're talking about top sets, right? And I got all the way up to 185. Yeah, that's awesome. 185, or it's awesome in a way where I was like, I hit what I was expecting myself to hit, right? Like here's a video of me overhead pressing 185. All right, this is attempt number 2 for 185. I did not like how the first one looked, so. It's better. Right, and the fun fact, that was my second attempt. The first overhead press, I didn't like as much. I lost my balance and I just did not like it. I didn't want anyone saying I used any leg drive or anything like that. Now let me show you the video of me, my first attempt. All right, 185 on the bar. Let's see if I got this. Didn't really like that one. Right, so a lot of people are like probably gonna tell me like, okay, if you just went for a second attempt, why didn't you just jump up weight, right? You're obviously not, overhead press is not 185, right? And I did. I was, kind of enthusiastic because I was like, I know I have more than that. And that was pretty much fairly strict, right? So your boy tried 195. I failed the fuck out of that, right? Here's a video of me doing that. All right, 195. Not happening. Damn. Right, so 195 overhead press, didn't even really fucking budge. Kind of pissed me off, but it is what it is. I think I psyched myself out a little bit too much. So it's safe to say if I do 185 for 2 singles, I'm most definitely on a 190 pound overhead press, right? And a 190 pound overhead press is actually fairly decent. It's nothing to, gawk at or anything. It's obviously like well below what most people would assume a 405 bencher could overhead press, right? And rightfully so. But I do want to, go ahead and take the time to kind of defend myself, saying if I were to be overhead pressing for the amount of time I was bench pressing for about 2 years, safe to say I'd be at least in the 225 plus category. I remember saying 315. No, that's insane. Probably not. Most definitely probably around 275 though. And I do plan on having a 225 pound overhead press by this summer, right? Either into the summer or in the middle of the summer. I'm just going to keep doing it consistently. And how I'm going to do it is probably by dropping my bench press, right? I pretty much hit my all-time goal 405. I do want to hit a double body weight bench press one day, right? And it'll probably happen this year, honestly. I am cutting weight right now, and I weighed in today about 216 pounds. Like 2 days ago, I was 214. So I'm stabilizing around the 215 pound mark, which is kind of cool because I was doing a mini cut, whereas just not dropping a lot of weight, but just kind of total body recomposition, which may affect my overhead press a little bit, but not really, since I'm kind of in the newbie gain phase, right? Whereas I will be progressing pretty fast just because like I'm a very strong bench presser, right? Which I don't think bench pressing, no, I do believe bench pressing has like a decent carryover strength to overhead press. And that's why I'll probably be accelerating an overhead press pretty fast, but it wasn't as much as I was assuming in the first place, right? Obviously two different pressing motions, right? One's off your chest, with the support of a bench under you, and the other is just strict, right? You're just using actual upper body strength. And that's why a lot of people immediately say overhead press is more superior than bench press when it comes to terms of upper body strength. And I'm right there with you, especially if you're doing it strict. That shit's pretty hard, right? You're using a lot more front delts, a lot of other stabilizing muscles that's keeping your body, put and staying together, right? And I'm actually really excited to see the overall body composition I get with overhead pressing. Like I'm excited to see what happens with my shoulders, right? Because I wouldn't say I was neglecting them for a while, but I was really having like other movements that weren't primarily working my shoulders, work out my shoulders, right? It was like, oh, it's a secondary muscle, so it'll get hit. And essentially it did, but it wasn't, maximized to its fullest potential, right? Like here's a video of me just kind of after my overhead press session, after my whole chest and back day, right? And I was like, okay, I look pretty decent. Like here's this right here. Right? Not too bad. I'm getting some striations in my shoulders, and it's super cool because overhead press really works your front delts and your side lateral delts, which I believe I have been neglecting for a while. My rear delts are actually pretty decent because, again, my secondary muscle that is hit when I'm doing a lot of back exercises. I still do need to start prioritizing those as well, but they're overall pretty decent actually. I also need to get the arms bigger. Again, another reason that I'm going to be able to increase my overhead press is I'm thinking about implementing a second arm day. So expect an update to the workout program, right? And if you didn't know, the workout program that you could pay $5 for, you get updated as well. If I update my workout program, I will update that workout program and you get a free update, like a lifetime supply of updates for the price of $5, right? Again, it's only going to be $5 for the rest of my life until I'm dead, right? I'm here for you guys and I love my community, right? Getting straight back into it though, I'm thinking about implementing a second arm day because again, you have a lot of stabilizing muscles that will need to be able to, hold that kind of weight over your head or just pressing it overhead in general, right? Like your biceps and triceps are a big stabilizing muscle, especially your triceps, which is like 2/3 of your arm. So I plan on getting those bigger, and I do need to like really focus more on my forearms. They're very lacking, that and my biceps. But again, that's what I love about the gym. More time you put into the gym, you'll reap the fruit to your labor, right? That's what I love about it. It's pretty much investing in yourself. But with that said, yeah, it's safe to say I have a 190 pound overhead press. I wish I just slapped on 190 instead of 185, but I know what I'm going to do next time. And I believe I'm going to be progressing even faster. I'm really excited. Because again, by this summer, I want a 225 pound overhead press. I just want to get stronger. And I will be dropping, I wouldn't say fully dropping the bench, but you won't see me bench pressing as much because, again, this is my top priority as of right now, this and squat. Two of the exercises that I'm really trying to give my attention to. So yeah, I plan on progressing really fast because, again, I got a 500-pound squat I want to get by this summer and 225-pound overhead press. Again, I'm excited, especially to see like the physiological changes that my body's going to go through after overhead pressing more consistently. Like, I'm really excited to get those cap delts. It's going to be pretty cool. And yeah, but if you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, please make sure to leave, a like, comment, and subscribe. I totally messed that up. But anyways, appreciate you guys. You guys have a good day.